Development, former presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has called on President Bola Tinubu to release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, and other persons still in detention. Mr. Obi says it does not see any need for the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, especially when the court had granted him bail. The former governor of Anambra State also says leaders of the nation must double their effort in ensuring and securing the country, because their primary assignment is to secure lives and property. He advised the Southeast governors to come together to strategize on tackling the problem more effectively.
Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary.
Still in the Southeast, traders at Ose-Oko.
Hello, everyone. If you are someone who is on social media, especially Twitter, you know there's a whole lot that have been happening in the last 24, should I say 48 hours. So Atiku Abubakar is now coming out, is making demands for Nnamdi Kanu, to be released. And I'm going to just take a look at the statement that he put out there. Not too long a statement, he said, the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains an open sore on our nation's conscience and a stain on our belief in the rule of law. Defying court orders that granted him bail is an abuse of power and an assault on justice. I therefore lend my voice in full support of the campaign led by Yele Sowore for his immediate release or due prosecution. We fail as patriots if we allow Kanu's case to fester as yet another wound this nation refuses to heal. And he signed it AA, meaning that it is him, Atiku Abubakar, who is making this statement. And of course, there are a lot of people who are coming out, in everything that is always being done. Peter Obi, one way, will be dragged in one way or the other. But the thing is that, from the video you watched earlier, Peter Obi had said the same thing, called, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And this particular video was done about June last year, over a year ago. And at that time, there was a lot of dragging. They nearly ate Peter Obi raw. All sorts of things were said about him. How can you release this one, that one? But the thing is this. Injustice to one is injustice to all. And in everything that is done, the process must be followed. The rule of law must be followed. This arbitrary detention that seems to happen because some people feel that they have power to do and undo is something that should not in any way be allowed to happen. If, for example, the thing is by saying that Nnamdi Kanu should be released, one is not supporting him or not supporting him, not supporting him or not supporting him. What one is simply saying is that the process should be followed. The courts have granted him bail, and if the courts have granted bail, then it is mandatory on the government itself to ensure that he's given that bail. And then if they have more evidence, and then they can continue the prosecution that they're doing. If they have evidence against him or more evidence against him or something like that, then they bring him forth and they and they go through trial. If they are able to win their case, then indeed what then happens is that he will get to go to jail. But to keep him just like that, just because you can, even when the court have said release him on bail, is injustice of the highest order, and that is not something that should be allowed to happen. Then there are from this that has happened, although there are some people that have gone on also to take on Atiku Abubakar for doing this, and then other people who are like, oh, where is Peter Obi? Peter Obi hasn't done this, Peter Obi hasn't done that, because in every conversation that it's had, I mean, Peter Obi is the de facto president, even though he won the election and he was not sworn in. But you and I know truly, truly who is it. And you say the people is the one that they are always responding to, the one that they are always looking at to get this all out. So if you look at this now, what then comes to fore is that Peter Obi leads, others follow. And for those who constantly, let me just take a look at some of this one here. Advocacy for Good Governance, it's a Twitter a handle at Governance 101. It says Peter Obi had already called for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as far back as last year, June 2024. He described his continued detention as illegal, and it was even reported by Tinubu's television. And you and I know what Tinubu's television is. That is what they call TVC. Peter Obi spoke out for Kanu when many people were not speaking. And that's the thing. When many people were afraid to speak, when many people were, it was not, how do I put it, the in thing to do, but it was the right thing to do. And he spoke out. And it's about, and it's irrespective of whatever it is, that is going to come, that is going to be thrown at him. And indeed, we did see that it was thrown at him. One of the things for me when it comes to voices, and I've seen, and in some of I've seen a lot of that a lot of time. Like recently, one of the videos that I did, people coming to say, I did a tweet, oh, did you say this? We're so disappointed in you and all of that. Well, as you go on, there's a place where you must have the courage. There's a place where you must have the courage to speak truth as it is, irrespective of whether it is going to get you attacks. And I see people, like I was speaking to someone earlier today, and was like, oh, just stay off this topic. For him, what he does is that he just stay off some topic. They are new. He's rather stay neutral rather than people to drag. For me, I believe if I do that would also mean that I've lost my voice. There are times that I'm going to put out a message, I'm going to do a video, or I do a tweet, and I know as I'm doing this tweet, there are people who are going to attack me for it. I'm going to get attacked. There are some that I'm going to get a lot of that. But then, is it the right thing to do? Yes. Is it on the side of truth, on the side of equity, on the side of justice? And if all these things are yes, 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 then I'm putting it out, irrespective of what attack I get or the kind of dragging that comes my way. Even if it affects me, even if it's against me, I'm going to put it out. Because for me, I always say to people, I'm not on anybody's side. I always try to be on the side of truth, equity, and justice. And even some people look at it as, oh, you are arrogant, you think you know everything, or you are. No, it's not about knowing everything or whatever. It's about just trying to pet, yourself there. And so this is a time where people were not even talking about it. Mr. Peter Obi had already spoken about it. This handle continued and he said, I don't understand this sudden love for Kanu by some certain people and trying to pull Obi into what I don't understand. Obi has always made his position known during the election, which is that he will negotiate with all agitators, including Kanu. The issue of Kanu was asked him in almost every interview, and he maintained his position. And that is so true, because I'd even forgotten that part also. Literally, almost every interview, people were always interested to ask about Nnamdi Kanu, maybe to think whether because they are both from the southeast, is going to defend him or whatever. And Peter Obi maintained, his stand. And so, if there are people now who feel that okay, now they want to lend their voices to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu should be released from prison, oh, they are all welcome. But don't try to drag Mr. Peter Obi into it, because he has always made his stand known. You are the ones who are now coming in that you did not make your stance known before. At the end of the day, whatever it is that we do, we must always ensure we're on the side of truth, equity, and justice. It doesn't matter whether we like the people or what they are at, but is the rule of law being followed? Are the processes being followed? Is the right thing being followed? That is all that happens. And let me repeat again, as far back as last year, June last year, Mr. Peter Obi had called on the Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu, because the court had granted him the bail. And if there's anything, let them prosecute him if there are things he needs to be prosecuted for. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.